Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday. Today is the first day of April. Some might know this as
April Fool's Day.
I probably just messed up somebody's day because they're going to be all upset. They're like, oh, you weren't supposed to tell anybody. Now I can't trick nobody. Well, you shouldn't anyway. National 1 Cent Day today. National Sour Bread Day. National Sourdough Bread Day. It's a huge difference between those two. National Burrito Day and National Take Down Tobacco Day of Action. So all of those things happening on this Thursday. And I've got a Dear John letter for today from Wondering Neighbor. Posted it earlier this week. If you'd like to check that out, it's on our Facebook page. And I love it when people chime in with their answers. So many times, your answers are way better than our answers. So if you get a chance,
yourself, mister.
Way better than her answers. If you have a chance, you can chime in at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Swedish study here says that the drug Viagra can help lengthen a man's lifespan. What did you think I was going to say? Researchers in Sweden report that men who have survived a heart attack could prolong their life taking the drug Viagra.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying that that'll potentially lengthen a man's lifespan. So that's good to know. Can a slice of bacon a day lead to dementia later in life? Researchers from the University of Leeds say eating a small amount of processed meat every day could significantly increase the risk of mental decline. So then one has to say, would it be worse to eat bacon and forget about it, or would it be even worse to not eat bacon and remember it? So, that's something to think about. That should be on a shirt. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Surveys and
you
studies
might
and
want to work
such.
on the phrasing, but
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. New York State Police arrested a man not once, not twice, but thrice.
thrice.
Did I say it right? 3 times on the same day. This took place in Orange County, Newburgh, New York. First arrest, 7:55 in the a.m. Robert Reddick, driving a 94 Jeep, traveling south. He was stopped, traffic violation. Turns out he had a suspended license and was in possession of some crack cocaine.
Okay.
He was charged with a misdemeanor drug charge. Second arrest happened that same day, 2:30 in the afternoon, because he was already let out.
Sure.
Driving a 2007 Honda Civic. So he's in a different vehicle this time, traveling on a different street. Same trooper pulled him over. This time, he had 1.3 grams of heroin and some crack cocaine.
Dude.
He was charged with a misdemeanor drug charge, and the final arrest was at 5:45 p.m. He was back in the Jeep this time, stopped for multiple vehicle traffic violations. The trooper determined that he was impaired by drugs, given 2 felony charges this time.
Why
and
was
then
he not in jail?
released on an appearance ticket to appear in Newburgh Court in April. So I don't quite understand what the reasoning is, but 3 times in one day, drug charges every time. And they just go, okay, well, we're going to let you go do this some more. So
Yeah, how is he not arrested?
I don't know. Bad idea, it sounds like. But that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. The Deadline is reporting, that's a publication, by the way, they're reporting that the upcoming Oscars will not have a single host. Producers of the show have made offers to talent that they hope would come to present the categories for the 93rd Oscars. It's called Oscar Cast. on April 25th. So later this month here. They're saying that they're not going to have a single host. They're going to have a bunch of different ones. Is that what I'm saying? Or the way this is reading, does that mean they won't have a single host?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Sony Pictures has reportedly begun developing a new film adaptation of the Elizabeth Montgomery-led sitcom Bewitched.
Really?
Didn't we already have one of those?
They did a movie.
That's what this is going to be.
Why?
They're going to do a new film adaptation of Bewitched.
Because the last one did so well.
Did it do well?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains that.
No, I don't think it did.
Well, in Hollywood, they don't have any new ideas, so here's another old idea. But hopefully they'll do better this time. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoopa of the day, it comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. How many times have you spilled food or drink on your sofa? Heidi, have you ever done that?
Yes.
A little oops?
Yes, I have.
A lot or a little?
Oh, not a lot.
So if you were going to guess, how many times does the life of a sofa, they say this is a 12-year lifespan for a sofa, by the way. How many spills happen in 12 years?
From one
You're
person
never
or from
gonna
a whole
guess.
family?
There's no way you'd guess this.
I'll say 300.
You are way, way, way off. Everybody that's listening, shout out the number if there's somebody around. How many spills do you think in 12 years, how many spills do you think a sofa receives? And if you answered 6,960 times.
way.
Yeah, apparently.
How clumsy are the people that did this survey?
I don't know. 6,960 times.
Wow.
And I'm going to hit here, divided by 12 years. That works out to 580 times a year. Divided by 12 months. That works out to 48 times a month. That's more than once a day. Come on, people. What are we doing? I mean, there's just no way. Just no way. Study says the average couch/sofa will be slept on 612 times. We will watch 5,340 films on the food and stained couch, and we'll watch almost 7,500 hours of television.
Alrighty.
I like those numbers a lot better than that first one. 6,900 spills?
that seems-
No way. Just can't be.
That seems a bit much.
Yeah. Ever get so frustrated with your phone you threw it across the room?
You have.
I did that just once. A survey reveals that 1 in 6 of us has broken a gadget in a fit of rage. Heidi did that with a GPS.
I certainly did.
She punched the screen and then wondered why it quit working. I was like, what's going on? It's not working. Why? What happened? Well, I hit it.
Well, I hit it.
Yeah. Takes an average of 12 minutes for us to lose our cool. Oh, you did it way quicker than that. With whatever tech we end up destroying. The tech issue that frustrates us the most, by the way, when the internet is slow.
Oh,
I could see
right.
that. I could definitely see that. And, I got only time for one more thing. I better make it a good one. How about, I'll get 2 more things because these are both short. First one is, a supply chain nightmare is creating an American coffee shortage. So there's like a supply chain that's not necessarily working properly right now.
Okay.
So it's saying if you're a fan of coffee, you might want to, get your coffee because it sounds like there's going to be a shortage or there is a shortage or something going on there.
All right.
And that leads right into this story. The CEO of the world's largest wood pulp producer warns of a possible toilet paper shortage coming to the United States in 2021. So we could have that happen again this year.
Great.
Yeah, let's hope not. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John.
Each week we get these fun little Dear John letters that we like to share, and last week's was a doozy. They even mentioned it in this week's letter. So if you missed last week's, it was about toothbrushes, and I discovered my wife often uses my toothbrush.
Not often. You make
My
it-
wife once in a while uses... Which the
Thank
cool thing
you.
is, we had a listener, Steve, and his wife, Snow, super nice people. They brought us a bag of toothbrushes. So that was really cool. Thank you, guys. All right, here's our Dear John letter. Dear John, I don't have a letter that's anywhere as exciting as the toothbrush thing, but I do think it would be a good question for you and Heidi. We have a neighbor who we have not really met. We talked to him last year when he moved in. Then all winter we were kind of staying inside, so we didn't really visit him much. Now we're spending more time in our yard, and I wave at the guy, but he seems to just ignore me. I asked some of the other neighbors, and they've met him, and they think he's a great guy. So I don't know if I did something to offend the guy, or if he thought we were intentionally ignoring him the last few months. I wanted to go over to visit with him. My wife told me, just leave the poor guy alone. What do you think? Should I go over and invite him to join us for a drink or something? Should I just leave the guy alone? Signed, Wondering Neighbor. I can tell you what, I've had that same type of thing happen where we've moved at kind of a weird time of the year and you don't really get to know people. And then you've been there so long that it's like, okay, I've been neighbors for several months and I feel really bad that I haven't met any of these people. So I can relate to that probably more than most because I've been there. And Heidi can probably say already what I would do. What would I do?
You would go over.
Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
What would you do?
The very best advice I can give for any neighbor, it doesn't matter how many neighbors you have, how long you've lived there, always leave your neighbors alone. They don't want you bothering them.
That's not true.
That is absolutely
That's not true at all. My neighbor's outside working. I walk over and say, hey, how you doing over, neighbor?
Yeah. Then they don't get any work done. There's nothing worse than coming home from the grocery store and just trying to really quick get into your garage. And then there's that neighbor. Oh, hey, I'm glad I caught you.
I just thought of
Have
that
you ever
movie.
seen the movie Extra?
I did see that movie.
That is kind of like
Am I
living
that
next
neighbor?
door to John.
Is that me? Am I that guy?
I think you might.
I don't think I'm that guy. I hope I'm not that guy. If you've not seen that movie, you don't know who that guy is. But we'll say he wasn't anyone's favorite character in the movie. We'll put it that way. Although I do love that actor. So my advice would be whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to go, and I don't even know that you necessarily need to invite him over for a drink or anything, but if you see him outside doing something, go over and see if he needs help, you know. Or if you get some of his mail in your mailbox, go over and deliver it to him. I'm not telling you to go take mail out of his mailbox. I'm going to make sure I say that because I want to make sure nobody thinks that I said that. What I'm saying is, if there is some excuse to go over and then have the official introduction that, hey, I feel bad it's been this many months.
Or
Welcome
he
to the
could
neighborhood.
be a neighbor that prefers to
We had
just
that.
be left alone.
What was his name? I don't remember what his name was. We had a neighbor. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't remember his name either.
Oh, that's really sad. He was a really nice young man.
He was a good
But he would pull his vehicle into his garage,
would
close the
close
garage
the
door
garage
completely
door.
before getting out.
Yep.
He would get his mail at the curb in his vehicle, roll his window back up before he drove in the garage. Because we had one of our other neighbors. I met the guy, and he and I were, I feel really bad now because I say we were friends and I can't even say his name. How sad is that?
We were so close.
But, you know, I probably best friend in the entire neighborhood for him because he didn't talk to anybody else. And we had a get together one time and I said, hey, I'm going to go over and invite him over. And he wouldn't come over. He's like, nah, I'm good. I was like, oh, you can meet
Some people
you can meet the other neighbors. He's like,
do not
I don't really
want to be.
I don't really want to meet any of those
Yeah.
people. So
Yep.
so it could be that too. All right. What's your advice, Heidi?
Leave him alone.
And my advice is, hey, go over and talk to the dude.
Bother the heck out of him.
Would you like to chime in with some advice? I'm sure we could use it because it sounds like we're split here. You can chime in with your advice for Wondering Neighbor on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. By the way, if you've got a Dear John letter for next week, you can also submit those at that same place. And if you want to scroll back and maybe answer some of the Dear John letters from the past, I don't know if the people who submitted those would scroll back and look, but, you know, sometimes it's just fun. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The English word with the most definitions is the word set, S-E-T. According to Guinness World Records, set has the largest number of meanings of any word.
Okay.
With 430 different senses listed in the 1989 edition of the second edition of the Oxford English Dictionary.
Different senses.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know exactly what it means. Like
Definitions?
First sense, second sense, I don't know. The word sets the record, so there it set the record, as an entry with 60,000 words or 326,000 characters. No other English word even comes close.
Wow.
I'm not sure what all of that means. I read through this 3 or 4 times.
It sounds super
It does
impressive.
sound impressive. So now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Taiwan. A report claims 150 people in Taiwan have officially changed their name legally to the name Salmon, S-A-L-M-O-N.
Okay,
Why?
Why?
Well, a sushi chain, a restaurant there, promised all-you-can-eat
no
sushi for
way.
anybody who has the name Salmon. 5 friends of their choosing get to join them for this free meal. Well, 150 people
Whoa.
have changed their name to Salmon.
That was a mistake on their part, I would
I don't
think.
know. Well, here we are talking about it, and I bet it's making big news there. So hopefully it's working out in their favor. But yeah, it's just a very bizarre story. And it is today's news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. For most people, $5,700 can go a long way. That could be like a vacation, bathroom remodel, I don't know, even a car for some. But a Colorado woman, it was the price of a single cup of coffee. Lisa Angela ordered a $5.70 cup of joe back in Christmas time inside a resort and convention center in Colorado. The next week, her bank alerted her into she had an insufficient funds charge.
Oh, boy.
At first, they thought there's got to be some sort of fraud. Then she noticed the charge, instead of it being for $5.70, they punched in 570.
Oh, my God.
570. So they put 570 twice. Anyway,
Oh, my God.
should have been a simple refund, turned into a 2-month fight to get her money back. Coffee shop admitted to the mistakes, claims that they did refund her, but her bank says, no, we haven't seen a dime. At first, they gave a credit, and then they figured out there was a $5,700 taken out of the account the following week. So it just turned into this giant mess where everybody was blaming somebody else.
Oh, my gosh.
She said, I just want to get it rectified. I want it made right. So that is such a bizarre
That would
story.
be so infuriating.
It really
Can
would
you
be.
Imagine.
Yeah, cannot even imagine. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Tyler police report an argument escalated to a shooting last week. According to police, 36-year-old Lauren Shea Castle and her fiancé were arguing over their relationship. The clash grew more intense, with property being damaged, at which time, according to police, Castle pulled out a gun and shot her fiancé in the tuchus.
Whoa.
He was taken to the hospital, in stable condition, charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She's being held on a $100,000 bond. I noticed in the story it says fiancé. Shouldn't that say former fiancé?
You would hope.
If somebody shoots you while you're having an argument,
Run away.
if there's even damage being done to property
Run away.
when you guys are disagreeing on
Yeah.
something, not a good idea. I mean, it's just a terrible plan.
Just flee.
That person needs to get some counseling and some help of some sort, but boy, oh boy, it's a bad idea. So I hope everything works out okay there. It's today's Moment of Duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time for Rehab.com. Heidi, are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Twin Lakes, Monroe, Georgia. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Twin Lakes.
Twin Lakes. I will say that's a golf course.
And you are? Correct. It is a
There
golf
we
course.
go.
Yeah. Golf clap for Heidi, by the way. I gave you extra long golf clap today.
Thank you.
Because it's been a while since you've been right.
Hey.
Not that anybody's paying attention. We're all keeping track, just so you know. That's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. And we had a story where we talked about a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, who went on a little virtual field trip to the zoo.
Yeah.
Well, we've got another teacher in the news today. Here's the headline. Third grade teacher says affirmations with her students every day to empower them. An educator in California teaching her students important life skills that you don't find in a textbook. She's teaching kids to believe in themselves. That's a good thing to teach kids.
That is a very good thing
Katie
to teach them.
Boozer, Booser, third grade teacher, Franklin Elementary School, Santa Barbara, California. She says that she gives affirmations to her students such as, I believe in myself. I am strong. I am smart. These are things that they're supposed to do. Heidi's over here snickering. You're thinking of Saturday Night Live, aren't you?
I certainly am.
I'm Stuart Smalley.
I'm good enough.
Gosh
I'm
darn it.
smart enough.
People like me. But she said, this is something I've done now every year for the last 10 years with every class that she's had. I've been having my same pep talk with students since I started teaching third grade. We start off by doing every multiplication test. What? We start off doing, before every multiplication test. She says the best part is each year the kids will eventually start doing it throughout the day over and over and over. As words of affirmation matter. She said, my friend Jenny likes to say that it's changed the conversation, really. Most importantly, when we start with our children at a young age, letting them know that, hey, you are a good person, you can do these things, it actually helps put their life on a better course.
Okay.
I think it's really a cool thing.
Well, it's certainly a much better tactic than the third grade teacher I had.
I can't even imagine what. I'm not going to ask. I'll say that.
You don't want to know.
It says, as a student myself, I was an anxious kid. I was nervous, especially before a test or a big exam. So what helped me? I am statements. I am going to do well. I am good at this. I am whatever, So she went through and took what worked for her, implemented it with her students, and kids are doing really well. It's a cool story. I do have a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.